it's your vlog debut.
Wow.
She's like, I am completely disinterested.
Rosie.
Rosie Roo.
Can you dance? Rosie. Look, you dance. Oh, that's nice. Good girl. Good girl.
All right, it is 5 o'clock and we are eating lunch because we are bad at sticking to a schedule on days where we have to go to the fertility doctor. Yay! We'll have real dinner at real dinner time, but we're both starving. Hi, come in the vlog. Hi. I don't even know if you got into it. Did you get into it? Hi. We went to the fertility doctor today. I want one. Chelsea's always like, I made exactly the number of food items that I wanted to eat.
Exactly.
And so if you wanted more, you should have told me before I made the food. I'm like, fair, technically. It's very bright. I haven't changed my chalkboard. Our chalkboard. I haven't changed our chalkboard.
Your chalkboard.
It's not my chalkboard, it's our
Is my phone
chalkboard.
over there?
I need to... It's a thing of beauty. I need to change our chalkboard to something not Christmas and Vlogmas related. But I don't know what to change it to. So that'll need to happen on another day. Went to the fertility doctor today. I know, a very long roundabout way of getting to this. Oh my God. There's dogs everywhere. There's dogs wanting to be let in. There's dogs wanting to be let out. They're just exhausting. I imagine having two dogs kind of like having twins. It's like, Fire, come in. Come in. Do you want your dinner? I thought so. Anyways, I also got my hair cut this week. What do you think? It's kind of fluffy right now, but I was talking about fertility stuff. Do you want me to wait so I can film with you talking? Okay. You just have me rambling about like various dog things, but I'm sure you can cut enough of it together to make some. All right, I don't know what, my hair is very fluffy today. I think I already said that.
I wonder what that's like.
We're using Chelsea's phone.
Gray Fryer.
Fryer is not happy with the fact that he's closed out of the room where Rosie is eating her dinner. We're using Chelsea's stuff. Why can't I talk today? I can't talk today. Our camera.
We're using my phone because the camera is dead.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We went to the fertility doctor and we talked about Chelsea's frozen embryo transfer and what the plan is for that.
Yep.
Which I wrote down in our Make It Happen little fertility book. I kept sort of like a mini journal throughout my process of egg retrieval, and then we're gonna include Chelsea's side. So we have this little record. I know you're like, you're already vlogging. How much more of a record do you need? But it's a nice introspective process, I feel, to sit down and
I think
journal.
So. You said it helped you.
Yeah, I found it really helped me. Actually, we have a bunch of new subscribers, so let's do a little bit of a recap. First of all, welcome. Hi. Thanks for joining us. I'm Caitlin.
I'm Chelsey.
And we're doing reciprocal IVF, so we're using my eggs and her uterus. My bun, her oven. We've done my part so far. You can kind of see the shots if you want, see the egg retrieval videos. And we're moving on to the frozen embryo transfer. We got 5 frozen embryos who we have nicknamed the Fabulous 5.
Fab 5.
Fab 5, everyone.
What is the thing that my cousin does? Hashtag.
Yeah.
I'm old.
We have 3 embryos of good quality, 1 average quality, got a parent the pups, and 1, he said poor, I don't like that. 1
lower quality.
Underachiever.
Slower. He's just a little shy.
A little slow to blossom, you know. What that means to fertility people is we have a 3AB, I have to look at my notes, a 4AB, a 4AB,
a 3BB, and a 3BC.
Yeah. So, A's and B's are the best. 2B's is average. And then anything with a C is kind of lower quality, is what I understand. And the number is sort of how far along in hatching it is. I think a 5 is hatched.
It's hatching.
Hatching?
Currently, yeah.
Which a lot of people, that during like the embryo transfer, once they thaw it, they'll see the embryo start to hatch even before they transfer it.
Which is a good sign.
So ours are like 3s and 4s, so they're not hatching yet, but they were getting there.
And just because an embryo is lower quality doesn't mean it won't.
Yeah, that's
it
true
won't grow.
too. Yeah.
It just is slower and it's not developing as fast as the norm.
Yeah. So we shall see. We reviewed the like lows and highs of the fertility egg retrieval, which is fun. It's fun when you go to the doctor and they're like, let's talk about the lows of this. It's like,
But it ended on a high note because he didn't expect all 5 to make it.
no, it's true.
He was surprised. He was surprised they all went to...
Our fertilization rate was lower than what he was expecting. He said he didn't really know why that was. So
It's because the universe didn't want to waste our time.
I mean, that's how I like to think of it anyways.
What's the point in getting 8 if like the majority of them aren't going to work?
No, it's true.
I'd rather have like 3 good ones out of a batch of 5 than have 3 good ones out of a batch of 8. That sucks a lot more.
Yeah, it's true. So we talked about Chelsea's cycle. We need to wait for her period before we can do anything really. So it's going to be a couple more weeks. And we need to call in on day 1.
He vetoed the idea of doing a natural cycle. He didn't veto it. He just said he didn't recommend it because we can do it that way if we really want to, but it's kind of stressful. It's stressful, and that's an added element. My body's already irregular in my cycle, and we don't... If it was super dependable, like if I was a super 29-day... 4-day cycle, like that kind of thing, it would be different, but...
Because our understanding of what the natural cycle is and how he explained it to us is basically you're just doing your own thing, unassisted with medication. They monitor you very closely to try and catch the days where you're primed for... Implantation, thank you.
You're welcome.
If your cycle's not really regular, it's already stressful and you go in for tests like every day to monitor, so... We opted for the medicated cycle. And then the second option presented was, do you want the short or long medicated cycle?
And so the difference is that there's more medication in the long cycle. He said that there's no real empirical evidence to suggest that there's a difference between the two. He sees in his clinic more success with a long cycle, but that's anecdotal. So it's not...
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this, and it's like they have their stats, and it's not evidence-based practice unless you can... replicate it in different labs and things like that.
And there is literally no proof that one works better than the other. So my suggestion, and he was like, that's really reasonable, that's a good plan, was to do the shorter cycle. And if that doesn't work, then we'll try the normal one. Because the long one is kind of like a body reset.
Yeah.
Like it resets your hormones. It resets everything,
like
starting from ground,
reset
zero.
To factory settings, basically.
And I feel like that's more something I would want to try after we've already done one that wasn't successful.
Yeah, and the long cycle is the one, I mean, you'll see it on tons of IVF stuff. But
they
the
use
one with
Lupron. And
whereas the short cycle is just estrogen and then progesterone. So once we decide that, the next decision...
Stop, Fryer. Quiet.
The next decision that we had to make was progesterone in oil shots or progesterone suppositories.
So I asked him what he found to be the most successful, which I actually think he was surprised by. Because I feel like people probably have a pretty strong opinion about what they want to do if they've done any research. And I asked him which would be better, like which ultimately would he recommend. God, I'm getting wrinkly.
You're not getting wrinkly. You're raising your eyebrows purposefully in this exact moment.
I'm wrinkly now.
Chelsey had a moment yesterday where she was like, I'm getting old.
And Caitlin went, yeah.
I was like, yeah.
You're the crypt creeper.
So very
dead.
old.
Yeah, anyway.
Cougar over here.
Weirdo. So he said ultimately that he finds the progesterone in oil to be more successful.
He said there's a lot of reasons why people make decisions for one or the other. A lot of it's usually based on
one of them was convenience.
Yeah, convenience,
lifestyle. The suppositories are
messy,
and you have to do it 3 times a day, and
reasons why people wouldn't get the shots are things like, I don't have someone to give me the shot.
The needles upset me.
Yeah, so...
And I'm not great with needles, I'm not going to lie to you, but I also have a really big ass. and I trust Caitlin.
So got that good cush for those shots, just like I did, but on the opposite side.
And he said that we can switch once we get a positive pregnancy test.
We can switch to the suppository,
which would be fine. I'd be fine with that.
So we chose the progesterone oil shots. And that was like basically the review of what we went over today.
It was pretty short. It was pretty quick.
We're waiting for Chelsey's day 1, and then we do approximately 10 days of estrogen, depends on how Chelsey responds, and about 6 days of progesterone, and then
I'm feeling pretty chill about it all, actually. I thought I'd feel more impatient, because I was feeling impatient like a week ago, because I'm pretty sure I was ovulating, and I always get like really broody when I'm ovulating. But I'm feeling kind of good. There will be plenty of times where I don't enjoy what we're doing. And I don't enjoy the process of what we're doing. But I think I'm beginning to kind of enjoy it a little bit.
There's parts of it where it's like we want to be able to enjoy it. It's how
this is the way we're making our family. And obviously, if people don't enjoy this process, they don't have to enjoy this process.
No.
For some people, it's kind of like, for some people, it's a last resort. For, I know that us at the very beginning, we were like, it sucks that we have to go through all of this. It's hard to go through all of this. But I don't know, I think ever since being able to see them do Caitlin's procedure, it's just cool. Yeah. It's so cool that we can do this. And I'm feeling it's so more level-headed about it now.
It's so lovely that we have like this option of a way of having our family that we're both involved in. Mm-hmm. That's why we were so attracted to reciprocal IVF. It's not about having a biological child for me or anything like that. It's about Chelsey wants to carry, and I want to be a part of the process.
Yeah.
So that's how we got here.
Yeah. Because we're still adopting.
Yeah. Yes. I don't know if we've ever talked about that.
Think we have.
But our plan has always been that we
have a couple bio babies
and then a couple adoption babies.
We really want to adopt slightly older, like siblings, in the like 2 to 5 range, because they're not as easily adoptable. Especially siblings, so. But we want that to kind of happen later.
You get the kids that are chosen for you, and we want to be open to things like siblings or an older children because of that fact, because most people want babies and things like that, and most people don't want dogs.
Ray Fryer.
Who scream and scream and scream.
Enough.
He's had dinner. I don't know what his problem is. That's a part of our family plan. That's what we're interested in doing. I think it's amazing. So approximately, we won't get our official kind of schedule until Chelsey calls in her day 1, but we're thinking that the transfer is going to be early to mid-March, which is kind of what we were expecting. So we're feeling really good about it today.
Yeah.
And just super excited. And in amazing fertility news today, we found out that
I was like, where are you going with
our
this?
insurance...
Do I know about this?
Yes, she does. She's just forgetful.
I'm forgetful.
Our insurance, I submitted everything because I think I mentioned in another video. Why not? Just submit anything.
Just submit
whatever they cover. You might be surprised.
You don't know for sure. Just submit it. What's the worst that can happen?
I had looked up all of our fertility medication, and basically none of it was covered. I submitted everything in batches, admittedly, as we sort of paid for things.
Still submitted.
But we got a large chunk of money back.
$1,500.
$1,500 for our first batch of medication that we submitted that was not going to originally be covered.
Yeah.
Amazing. I was like so happy to learn about that yesterday. It was incredible. It made me feel amazing. We always kind of knew Chelsey's progesterone and stuff like that would be covered, but all the information we got from our insurance company was that this will not be covered for you.
Yeah.
And it was. So I don't know if it's all going to be covered. I'm not getting my hopes up because, like I said,
so far we got $1,500 back, and that's like money we did not think we were going to have
that
back.
Was, I don't know.
It's like half. That's about half of what we paid.
About half.
Like a little under half?
A little under half of what we paid overall. So even if that's all we get, that's still a huge help. Huge.
And we're very, very grateful and very privileged that this is the only thing that we're paying.
Yeah. We'll maybe do another video talking about the funded IVF program here in Ontario and what that actually means financial-wise, because there are things that aren't covered.
No, yeah.
And it's always helpful because I think it's just nice to know more about the financial situation of IVF because it can be very overwhelming, very daunting, and very hard to get accurate information.
Yeah. And
to know where to go for information. So
yeah,
we'll do that separately, but for now, just saying we got some money back. It was a huge surprise.
Submit.
And this should be everyone's lesson.
it.
Just submit it. Even if your insurance company said
What's the worst that can
no,
happen? They're just going to say no.
absolutely not.
Yeah.
Just submit it. Because we were told no.
Yeah.
And we got money back. So, anyways, we got to go make dinner like 20 minutes after we ate lunch. We had like the tiniest like snack we got home.
It was a snack.
Lunch.
It was not lunch.
It was not lunch. I just called it lunch to make me feel better for not eating a meal today. And we're rewatching the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit series. We're on the second.
I think I posted about that on Instagram.
We're on the second Hobbit right now. So we're going to go do that. And that's going to be our lunch. And we're going to try and maintain our sanity with 2 dogs and a cat in one house. While we're adding a baby.
Why are we doing this? Because we want to.
We want to, because it makes us happy. Yeah. Most of the time.
We're a little tired today.
We're very tired. We're a little tired.
I'm
just
exhausted. I'm like melting down into the...
All right.
Oh.
Everyone, sleep up.
Sleep up, everyone.
Get some rest.
Get rest.
Submit your IVF financials.